Hey, good day, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Just in case you join me for the very first time, I am the real Brian Glaze Gibbs. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, share, support. I was once the problem. Now what I'm seeking to do is right my wrong and become part of the solution, man. Hey, let's get straight to it, man. Just got finished watching the Wicked Street TV, and they did a piece on the Supreme Team. And right now is I want y'all to listen. And this is court record. So it's nothing blown out of content. So I want y'all to listen to it carefully. And right now, whereas after y'all listen to it, I'm going to come back and put my spin on it. Because once again, a lot of times people like to pump stuff up. They like to make things seem more bigger than what it was. So what I want you to do is listen. And once you listen, I want y'all to be able to ask yourself the quality question. Was these guys as big as they want, or people want you to think that they was? Okay? Listen, and I'll be back.
They set up shop in the Baisley Park apartment of Robinson's mother, rebuilding after the heat from the 1987 raids. Even though they weren't touching the same numbers as before, they were still pulling in over $10,000 a day. Miller made sure to keep the neighborhood on his side, handing out $3,000 in singles to the kids in the community every week, a small price to pay to keep the streets loyal. The team had their operation down to a science. Court records later detailed the setup. Tucker, Coleman, and David Robinson would collect cash from their retail spots and bring it back to headquarters. Miller and the team's go-to courier, Tent Sirius Morris, would negotiate coke deals over the phone with their supplier, William Graham, a plug with Colombian ties. Once the deal was set, Morris and Raymond Robinson would drive to Graham's crib, cash in hand, to pick up kilos. The weight was then processed into crack at the Robinson apartment, bagged up and distributed through Arroyo, Robinson, Tucker, or Coleman, who put it in the hands of their street workers. But the drug game ain't just about money. It's about power, and Miller wasn't playing fair. In July 1989, he, Arroyo, Hale, Hunt, and Jimenez ran down on 4 Colombian suppliers, jacked them for 2 bricks, and left them dead. The next month, they turned on one of their own. Gus Rivera, the Supreme Team member who had introduced them to the Colombians, got shot in the head by Hunt in a Baisley Park courtyard. He somehow survived the first attempt, but Hale and Arroyo made sure he didn't get lucky twice. They finished him off in a Queens motel room. That same August, they doubled down on the violence. 2 more Colombian suppliers, Pablo Perlaza and Fernando Suarez, pulled up to Hale's Baisley Park apartment expecting to do business. Instead, they got set up. Julio Hernandez held them at gunpoint while Hale and Arroyo tied them up with duct tape, covered their heads with plastic bags, and then took turns beating them with a baseball bat. The Supreme Team had always been ruthless, but under Miller, things got even darker. The money was still flowing, but so was the blood. By 1989, the walls were closing in on Kenneth Supreme McGriff.
Okay, I just got finished listening to Wicked Street TV, speaking about the Supreme Team and they downfall. And y'all just listened to the clip about the 4 Colombian dying over 2 keys of coke. Okay? So, this is what I'm going to do. This ain't about glorifying nothing. This is about understanding how greed and ego destroy life. This is a story of how members of the Supreme Team robbed and murdered 4 Colombian drug dealers, all for 2 kilos of coke. Let's sit back and think about it, folks. If you listen to everything that you have heard about the Supreme Team and all the money that they was getting, how in the hell would or why would they kill 4 Colombians over 2 kilos of cocaine? Make that make sense. You mean to tell me they couldn't, or they didn't have enough money to buy the keys? They didn't have enough money or have enough credibility to get these keys on consignment that they had to go out there and execute 4 Colombian for 2 measly kilo of cocaine. That don't make sense, man. And right now is you listen to the report. And these guys, like, they didn't just kill them. They tortured them, chopped up the bodies. Even with that being said, man, was it worth it? Was it worth it? Let's speak on it. The late 80s was wild in Queens. Early money. Coke money was flowing heavy. And everybody was trying to come up. The Supreme Team, led by Kenneth Supreme McGriff and Gerald Prince Miller, had the South Side locked down. They had soldier, cars, money, women, but power breed greed. And in this game, greed get people killed. Around that time, some Colombian cat came around the Queen, trying to move small amount of coke, testing water. Word hit the street that they had a couple of kilos on them. That's when a few members of the Supreme Team got wind of it. Instead of trying to build business, they plotted to take what wasn't theirs. You got to understand, in that era, robbery was a hustle. Stick-up crew was everywhere. But when you mix ambition with arrogance, that's a recipe for bloodshed. But when you cross that line and you become a drug dealer, it's very, very rare that you see that a drug dealer, kingpin, people on the Supreme Team status revert back to robbery. That's like really a no. The plan was simple. Hit the Colombian, take the coke and split it up. But once guns get drawn, things never go as planned. Report later say that during the robbery, all 4 Colombians were executed, shot dead, left for the vulture. Over 2 keys, 2 bricks of coke that on the street might have been worth 30, maybe 40 grand back then. 4 lives gone, 4 families destroyed, and a trail of blood that would later haunt the Supreme Team. That murder just wasn't another statistic. When Colombians get hit like that, the DEA, FBI start paying attention. Word spread through the jails and the street. The Supreme Team did that. And from there, the feds start connecting the dots. Robberies, murder, drugs, money laundering. One case after another start piling up. That 2-kilo hit became one of the nails in the coffin that brought the heat heavy on Queens. Listen, man, 4 men died out for 2 kilos of coke that somebody father, brother, son, all gone behind a product that never loved nobody back. When you in that life, you start thinking short term. You start believing your own hype, but the street don't love you. They only recycle pain. The same greed that got those Colombian killed is the same greed that sent brothers from the Supreme Team to die in prison. Hey, folks, when you look at that and you sit back and you're trying to make sense, man, it wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it. It was a price to pay. But here it is. Right now is, even in that case, from the state to the feds, guess what? Nobody got convicted for the 4 Colombian body. Wow. But once again, not saying it didn't happen. It just was enough evidence to prove it. Like I say, folks, crime doesn't pay. There's no shortcut life. Only thing come fast is trouble, easy to get in, hard to get out. Hit the like button, subscribe, share, support. I am the real Brian Glaze Gibbs. If I can change, anybody can change. One love.